This video was brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. Get top quality razors delivered to your door starting at just $1 a month. Link below in the description. Skip it up and that up. So Sony is facing a loss at the end of the financial year that is a crap ton worse than it originally expected. The company initially forecast a $466 million net loss by the end of the current financial year, but has now told investors that the projected loss has been revised to $2.14 billion US dollars. This net loss forecast marks the sixth time executive Kaz Hirai has had to explain to investors that Sony's results are worse than expected. 6 times he had to tell them it's going to be worse than they originally thought. That's wow. It is also the first time in the corporation's history that it has not paid an annual dividend to investors. That's basically a payout for people who own shares in the company. The key reason for the deep losses that Sony is facing right now is due to its struggling smartphone division, which Kaz Hirai said before, which I could have told him was not going to be the case, was going to be key to revising the corporation's fortunes. He thought the smartphone division was going to save Sony as a conglomerate. Now, of course, the GameSpot article goes on to say, hey, the PlayStation brand is doing great. They sold over 10 million consoles, which is true. PlayStation and the PlayStation 4 is doing phenomenal right now. But Sony is a multifaceted corporation or conglomerate that sells numerous products, and minus the PlayStation brand, the rest of their products are performing poorly. That's why they sold off their computer division a while back, if you remember. I think the reason that it bothers me so much to see Sony struggle is that when I was a kid, Sony products were synonymous with quality. And not only did I just enjoy Sony products, some of my best childhood memories were around Sony products, like along with Nintendo. Like, I remember going on vacation and you would have your Sony Walkman with you. I remember when I graduated 6th grade, not graduated, I completed 6th grade, and I did good on my report card. And for my birthday, my parents got me the original, I have a picture of it right here. I got downloaded it from eBay. The original Sony mini disc player, which was launched in 1993. It was the Sony MZ1. And I remember I went to go see Jurassic Park with my friend Tom and being so excited. As soon as I was done with the movie, I told, because I knew the UPS truck was coming, I was like, bring me, I told my friend's mom, bring me back home, I want my mini disc player. And just for like a week, just recording like Dr. Dre, The Chronic. I would go to my cousin's house because she was really into rap music, and plugging the headphone output into the mini disc player and getting songs from her. Like, just some of the best memories I ever had were around Sony products, and just thinking back and even like looking at that picture of the MZ1 just brings back such good memories. But times have changed. You know, Sony was synonymous for quality, and they still are. Sony still makes good products, but there's way too much competition, and the whole technology scene has evolved and changed so much. And Sony really, honestly, with the beginning of the end for Sony as we knew them, was they missed the ball with MP3s. They didn't jump on the MP3 bandwagon the way they should have. It was Apple that beat them to the punch. And ever since the original iPod was released, I always felt like Sony was trying to play catch up. You know, and even with their TV division, there was a bunch of other brands that, you know, rose up and competed with them, and they weren't. Sony was so used to being the know-all, end-all of products and having no one question them, that they just thought they could just keep rolling along and doing what they're doing. Oh, you need a camcorder, buy a Sony. You need a TV, buy a Sony. You need portable music, buy a Sony. But now you could just have your smartphone do everything. So to have all these different divisions, Sony, is just not doing you any good. Let it go. I hate saying it, but I think really, like, Sony now is synonymous with gaming. And I really think it's time to give up the ghost, Sony, and just become a gaming company. Cut your losses. I don't want to see people lose jobs. They will. But I think it's time. It's not that you make bad products, but you're no longer known as the only company to go to for electronics. And to be honest with you, a lot of the electronics you sell are antiquated, and consumers have moved on to just buying their smartphone to do everything. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm not saying I'd rather have a dedicated camcorder than a camcorder in my phone. I would, but the general population, the general consumer doesn't care about that. Their smartphone or their smart device satisfies everything for them. So I think it's time to move on, Sony. It's time to put your pride aside, cut your losses, and just become a gaming company, and I think you'll do fine. I think you need to wake up and realize that it's not 1995 anymore and times have changed. Please do, because I don't want to see the PlayStation division be like sold off to Amazon, because that's what's going to happen if you keep going down the route that you are. All right, folks, this is Rich of Review Tech USA. Make sure to rate, comment, favorite, and subscribe, and as always, thank you for supporting my channel. Have a good one. The preceding video was brought to you by Big Cheese's YouTube channel. For gameplay reviews, gaming music, and vlogs, subscribe to Big Cheese VG. Link below in the description.